Hello everyone. Yeah, let's continue with our previous session. Yeah, in which we have seen histogram as well as we have seen the bar chart. Now let's proceed to the next topic, that is a box plots. Box plots are a measure of how well distributed is the data in a data set. Box plots are a measure of how well distributed is the data in data set. It divides the data set into three quartiles. Okay, it divides the data set into three quartiles. This graph represents the minimum, maximum, median, first quartile, and third quartile in the data set. Okay, this graph represents minimum, maximum, median, first quartile, and third quartile in the data set. It is also useful in comparing the distribution of a data across data set by drawing the box plot for each of them. Okay. Box plot are created in R programming by using box plot function. Okay. So to create a box plot in R, we have the function box plot. And understand the theoretical point. Box plots are measure of how well distributed is the data in data set. It divides the data into three quartiles. Okay, divide the data into three quartiles. This graph represents the minimum, maximum, median, first quartile, and third quartile in the data set. Okay, let's see the basic syntax. So see here, the syntax to create a box plot in R programming is, so the see here the first one box plot, that is a function. Inside that, the first argument is x and then the data and then the comma notch, where width, comma names, comma main, where x is a vector or a formula. X is the vector or a formula. Data is the data frame. Okay, data is the data frame. Notch is a logical value. Set as true to draw a notch, otherwise false. Where width is a logical value. Set as true to draw the width of the box proportionate to the sample size. Proportionate to the sample size. And then the names are the groups labels which will be printed under each box plot. What is this names? Names are the group label which will be printed under each box plot, and then the main is used to give a title to the graph. Okay. See here, we use the data set before going to show you the example. What the data set we are using? So we use a data set empty cars available in our environment to create a basic box plot. Okay. So we are going to use one of the data set which is already available in our environment in our R Studio. Okay. To create a basic box plot. Okay, and we are going to use the tilde symbol. So can you see this symbol, tilde symbol? You can say tell this symbol. If you write like this one, y tilde symbol x, what we are saying is that y responds to change in x. Y tilde symbol x. What does it mean? How can you say this one? Y responds to change in x. Okay. Values that comes out y depend on the various values depend. See here, values that comes out y's depend on the various values that comes in through x. Are you getting it? So the data set that you are going to use, we are going to use for creating the box plot. Okay, what is the name of that data set? Empty cars. Okay, it's already available. You don't need to create anything for it. Okay, and next thing is we are going to use a tilde symbol. For example, if you write y tilde symbol x, so you can read it as y respond to change in x. Y respond to change in x. Okay, values that comes out y's depend on the various values that comes out in throws x. So let's see the example in R Studio to create a box plot. Okay. So let me open the box R Studio. So here my R Studio. Let me close this plot histogram. So I hope you understand everything about the histogram. Let's proceed to the next type of plot, box plot. So see here, focus on line number 1. As I told you that we are going to use empty cars as one of the data set to create a box plot. So first of all, what I will do, I will show you what is our empty cars. So just write empty cars. Can you see this one? Empty cars is coming. So let me execute line number 1. Can you see the output on console screen? It look like very big output. It contains the column like MPG, cylinder, DSP, HP, DRAT, weight. Yeah. If you want to see the structure of this data set, you need to write str of empty cars. Am I right? So let's see that with the help of this, we can easily find how many variables or how many observations are there in our data set empty cars. So let me execute line number 2. So see here the output empty cars, the data set is belongs to data frame and it contains 32 observations. You can say the rows of 11 variables. This means this data frame contain 11 column with 32 rows. Got it? Now I want to focus only on 2 columns. Which columns? Miles per gallon and cylinder. So if I want to extract only 2 columns from my data set empty cars, how can I extract it? How can I extract it? So see here, it's very easy. You need to use the data frame name empty cars inside a square bracket. I have left it blanks because the first thing you need to specify here is what you want to extract in terms of a row. So see, I want to extract all the row from my data frame empty cars. Okay. So hence I left it blank. But in case of a column, I want to extract only these 2 columns, MPG and cylinder. Can you see this one? See here, MPG and cylinder. So hence I have written comma vector for this one, MPG and cylinder. This means, and the what is this? This blank is for row and this one is for a column. This means we are extracting all the rows from the column MPG and the cylinder, and we are going to get all the data. This means we are going to get 2 columns MPG and cylinder with 32 observation because our data empty cars contain 32 observation, and then we are assigning it to a variable input. So let me execute line number 3. See here, line number 3 has executed successfully. Now let's see the data result for it. Okay, so just write first of all print input. Okay, so let me execute it. Can you see the output now? We have the input with the column MPG and cylinder. Okay, now if you want to get, if you write head of input, so you are going to get initial few observation. So if you execute it, I think you will get 6 observation. Can you see this one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because you written head of input. Got it? Now let's see how to create a box plot. What we are using? We are using the column of the variable name MPG versus cylinder. So hence inside a box plot, I will use, since we want to draw the box plot, so I need to use the function box plot. Inside that, I need to use the formula. So see here, MPG tilde sign cylinder. What does it mean? If we write y tilde sign x, what does it mean? Yeah, change in y with respect to x. What is this? Can you see that? Y tilde sign x. What we are saying? Y respond to change in x. Y respond to change in x. So this means MPG respond to change in cylinder. Okay, this column respond to change in cylinder. Okay, and you can also say that how the values that comes out y's depend, the values that comes out y's depend on the various values that comes out through an x. Obviously, the values that comes out in MPG is based on this one, cylinder. Okay, so how to use it? See here, the box plot. After that, you need to use this formula, this one, comma data is equal to empty cars. What the data set you are using? Data frame data is equal to empty cars. And by the way, empty cars is my data frame. And the label x lab, the label you want to have x-axis, label that you want to have a y-axis. Okay, number of cylinder, miles per gallon, and the main, that is the title you want to give to our box plot. And finally, okay, yeah, that's it. Now if you want to save our plot, If you want to give the name to this plot, you can give it with the help of JPG function. File is equal to boxplot.jpg, and with the help of this one, you can save it. You can save and close it. So till we have executed line number 4, now let me execute line number 8 and focus on the plot. Let's see how the box plot look like in our plot session. This one. So let me execute line number 8. Can you see this one? Let me zoom it. Okay, can you see this one? How our plot look like? How our box plot? Yeah. See on the X lab here is specified number of cylinders. See here. X lab is number of cylinder, Y lab is miles per gallon. Y lab is, and the title for this mileage data, right? Okay. And how the box plot look like? Focus here. 1, 2, 3. Now as per our theory, what the box plot said to us? Box plot are measure of how well distributed is the data in data set. It divides the data into 3 quartiles. It divides the data into 3 quartiles. So see here. Can you see that? What is that? This graph represents the minimum, maximum, median, first quartile, and third quartile in the data set. Minimum, maximum, median, first quartile, and the third quartile in our data set. Can you see this one? Where is that one? Yeah. Yes. So that's our box plot. Got it? Now, let's proceed to the next topic of box plot. Box plot with notch. We can draw a box plot with notch to find out how the medians of a different data groups match with each other. How the medians of different data groups match with each other. Okay, so we can draw the box plot with notch to find out how the medians of a different data groups match with each other. So let's see the example of box plot with notch. Okay, so I will open here. So, okay, by the way, if you want to save this plot, so let me execute line number, suppose, see, focus on line number 6. Box plot, I'm giving it at as a 100. Okay, so let me execute line number 6 and then 8 and then save it. So what is the name of the plot? Box plot 100. So go to the file, refresh it and find this file name, box plot 100. See here, box plot 100.jpg. So let me open it. Can you see this box plot? Got it? Now let me show you the box plot with notch example. So what I'm doing here, I'm again using the column MPG and the cylinder of my data set empty cars. So I will use the function box plot. Inside that I will use this one, MPG tilde symbol cylinder, and data is equal to empty cars. That is my data frame. Now xlab label for axis is number of cylinder, label for axis that is miles per gallon. Now main is equal to mileage data, that is the title. Now notch is equal to true. See here. Initially how the plot, how our box plot look like, this one. Now at this time I'm giving notch is equal to true and where width is equal to true, and then the color I want to give as green, yellow, purple, and the names that I want to put to each one is high, medium, low. Okay, now let me execute line number 19. I can execute it directly because we already have executed the initial few lines for empty cars, and then we extracted the data for MPG and cylinder. Yeah. Now let me execute line number 19. Focus on the screen. Can you see this one? It's a warning message. Don't focus here. So focus on the plot. Can we see the plot? It's easily we can see here. Now focus here. Number of cylinders. Yeah, that's the name X label. Okay. And the next one is miles per gallon, label for y-axis, mileage data, that is the title. Now what is this green, yellow, and purple? What is this code? We have given the names to each box. Yeah. High, medium, low. Can you see that each blocks is having the name? We have given the plot. See, this one is high, next one is medium, and this one is a low. High, medium, low. Got it? Yes. Now next thing is, what we have given? We have given the colors as green, yellow, purple. So see here, green, yellow, purple. Got it? Yeah. And notch is equal to true, where width is equal to true. See here. Can you see the notch here? Yes. Can you see the notch? Initially, how it looked like? See here. Let me open our plot. Let me go to my directory. What is the name of the plot we have created? Box plot, something 100, right? Now see here. Yeah. This is the plot that we have just now created in our by executing our previous lines of code. Now focus on this plot, how it look like and how it look like. Yeah, even if you want to check it again here, what I will do here, I will just execute line number 8. Now can you see this one? It's a box plot, simple box plot. Here we are not given the names to each box plot. We have not given the colors inside each box plot here. But by executing line number 19, we have created a box plot with the notch. And what is the purpose of notch? We can draw the box plot with notch to find out how the medians of a different data groups match with each other. Okay, now let me execute again line number 19 and focus on the plot. How the notches look like. See here. So we have created a notch. Okay. Even we have given the names as high, medium, low with the different colors to each box. Got it? Can you see this one? Yeah. So is it easy? Yeah. So finally, what I want to say you that till now we have studied total 6 types of plots. The first one was line chart. Am I right? Next one was a scatter plot. Am I right? And then third one is P chart and 3D P chart. Right. After that, we have started with bar chart and then the histogram and finally the box plot. Am I right? Yes. So I hope you have understand all these types of plot with the theoretical concept, with the syntax, and how can you create the basics plot, basic types of this plot. How can you add the labels, the titles, okay, and the colors to each of these types of plot. We have seen all the theoretical concept as well as the practical implementation of each type of this plot using R programming in R Studio. Am I right? Yeah. So I hope you understand all these types of plot. Yes. Yeah. And remember, these types of plot will definitely going to help you for a data visualization. Okay. So finally, I would like to say you congratulations because I can say you that you have completed our programming course successfully. So congratulations again for completing the R programming course successfully. And I hope you understand all the concept from my first session to till now. Yeah, because as I told you that we are going to first of all understand the theoretical concept and the practical concept. Yeah. So we have seen the theoretical concept as well as the practical concept, and we have also seen the real world application of some topics wherever it is applicable. Yes. So I hope you understand all the concept that we have seen from my first session to till now. And again, I would like to congratulate you because you have successfully completed our programming course from basic to advanced level. Yeah. Now, what I want to recommend to you, as you know, all the basic concept from basic to advanced level of R programming. So I would recommend you to go for a next level of R programming course, such as data science with R programming, or you can say data analysis with R programming. So see, you know that do, how can you plot the various types of graphs in R programming? Yeah. So obviously, if you know this, then if you understand the ggplot, that is one of the most important data visualization library or package. We have seen one of the concept of ggplot2, am I right? That is one of the package, how to install it, how to load it, and how can you draw the plot with the help of ggplot function. Yeah. So if you know this one, so you will definitely going to learn data visualization with R. And I would recommend you to join the next course, that is a data science with R programming. Okay, as you know all the thing of R programming, so you just need to know few more things such as data visualization with R, and how can you do the data analysis with R, and finally some machine learning concept such as, you know, like supervised learning, unsupervised learning, such as, and that once you understand this machine learning concept, okay, then you are going to get a data science with R programming course. Got it? So you are just few steps away. So just start with the data visualization, data analysis, machine learning with R. Even if you go with machine learning with R, it's very good nowadays because there is a much more demand in big MNCs. Even now, everyone is using nowadays, such as Twitter, Google, yeah, they are using the R programming for their statistical analysis. So go with that, learn the course such as data analysis or even machine learning with R or data science with R. I hope you will going to enjoy with that and you are going to get a good job with a good career start. So finally, I will again congratulate you because you have learned R programming course from basic to advanced level. So thank you very much for attending all of my session. Have a good day. Bye bye.